Hey guys, I got cut off, so I just want to go ahead on and finish. I don't know how much storage I have on this phone either, and it's doing numbers. So, uh, as I was saying in my part one, this is still part one extended about this holiday of flowers and candy. When you look up the word Valentino or it starts with just look up the holiday of that day of flowers and candy day. That starts with the V. Y'all know what I'm talking about. A lot of people make money off of this, so they probably don't want you to talk about it or say it. So I don't want them to cut my video, so I'm just going to say Flowers and Candy Day. But when you look up the word, it's either Valentino, I don't know if that's but it's a person, but there's lots of people and there's lots of people, and these were things that were made of all type of lustful acts. You know, the S word, acts. Okay? So when I was expressing to them, you want to be careful about mixing things in with the Lord. I even have to watch that. Every time I see myself doing videos and I'll be doing something, and I'm like, wow, you got to be careful, whether you agree with what you're doing or disagree. You don't want to mix things in with people and confuse people to think that this is okay and that's okay. So I have mad respect for the Lord due to my mom bringing me to that understanding. So when you bring these demonic forces in your home, you open up the door for lustful things, adulterous things. Even if your spouse is not doing that, those spirits are still sitting around. So you want to be careful about bringing those demonic forces in your home. So I wanted to just give a quick short on that to talk about that. I don't want to talk long on it, but I was just expressing to them, when you're trying to talk to someone about the Lord, you cannot mix that in there because you're teaching them about something that's of a lustful orgy type of behavior type of thing, and that's what it shows when you look it up. So it's important that we know about certain holidays and find out the meaning of them. Now, I do celebrate Christmas and I celebrate Easter, which is Resurrection Day or whatever, because I believe in the birth and the resurrection of the Lord. However, we can celebrate that every day, but I know those days are set aside to I guess reflect on it or whatever. But outside of that, and then I hear about the trees are paganist or whatever. So I usually just put lights up anyway. I don't usually put trees up anymore. I think about it every now and then, but I'm more than likely going to stop that. But I love the lights. I have a lights that's made out of trees, but it's like a light, just all lights. It's not an actual tree. So want to be careful about those things because the Lord is going to look at what a person did to deny themselves, of these sins. So it's important that you don't bring that in. It's not that serious where you got to have flour and candy. You can get your wife flour and candy any day. She can buy you cufflinks, socks, t-shirts, body washes, colognes, and he can buy her shoes or whatever it is any day to express your love for that person. Because when you start idolizing these holidays, you're bringing an idolatry spirit into your home. You're bringing it into your sanctuary where you and your spouse rest your head. So it's important, and you are inviting spirits in. So this is to the believers who are following Christ, who's trying to witness for Christ and win souls for Christ. It's important that you do not send flowers and candy and pictures to people while trying to minister to them. Now, if you're just doing it by itself and you're not saying anything about the Lord and you're just doing it by itself and because you don't know, that's different. Doesn't mean you should send it, but if you don't know, you're going to do it. I used to send it all the time because I didn't know. I never added talking about the Lord with it, though, because I just didn't see where it fitted. So I was explaining to them, they were actually sending that just as a whole, but then they began to start talking about my relationship with the Lord, how the importance of it, which is true. But I was letting them know I had to sit them down like the apostolic do. They sit you down. Now they talking to me like, okay, she's a backslider. I'm trying to bring her to the Lord, and that's fine. That's well. That's good. And that's dandy. But I let them know I got some strong history. I know how to come to the Lord, and I had a very, very powerful mother And I had to do the apostolic move and had to sit them down. I don't care if you're a pastor, minister, whatever. I would sit you down and correct you and let you know you can't do that. And you're fortunate to have someone to tell you that. And it don't make sense for me to tell them that and then go to hell. It's important that I seek out my own salvation and trembling in fear. But, that's some information for them because it lets you know that person knows some stuff that you don't know. Because a lot of times we want to feel like, oh, we know this, we know that, and all this stuff. But there's a lot of stuff that we don't know, and God will put the right person to tell you. So that's all I wanted to say on this quick, short, lovely Tuesday day. And so it's important that we, the Bible, and I want to also kind of switch lanes without no signals. Drop that dough, real dough, diddle, diddle. See, I dropped it on the floor, added some more on top of my big toe. See, I switched lanes, didn't y'all? No. But I'm on to something else. So there was a young lady, she was with a group, and she was originally in the church, and she did some gospel music. She did kind of like worldly music and gospel music. I'm going to call it like it is, worldly music. And she likes to defend these former members that she was with. And she likes to express herself with the Lord. And she was dating some kind of minister dude. They fell out, and now they're back together. Now, this guy mostly humiliated her and told her that she needed to go and take her medication or something. And I'm like, wow, this guy publicly said this. And I'm like, you couldn't go find another man? You had to go back to the same guy? I mean, yeah, we forgive people, but dude, you just publicly humiliated me by telling me what I need to go do for my mental depression. Told her she'd go take her meds or something right on public. I would have dumped him like a hot potato and never went back. Because people like that you can't trust. They'll switch lanes without no signals. And I'm sure he ain't dropping no dough and ain't dropping it on the floor because she's desperate. Because when you're not desperate, you make a man do his job and make him respect you. And you got to know when to dump people. So she was giving an illustration about Christianity and the responsibility of how people should not just throw people away because they're in this worldly stuff. But my thing about that is there's a lot of denominations. People come from different denominations. That's why they get these different teachings. Most of these teachings are not in apostolic and Pentecostal and a few Church of God in Christ. I'm going to say a few because they don't play that. The Bible says come out from among them and be ye separated. So you can't tell people what to say about something when these people call her to do a performance. She drops everything to go be with them. So, and a lot of people feel that they can use their talent because God gave them talent, but God gave you talent to use it for him. So you're trying to use it for him, but then you turn around and drop it to go be with these people. Somebody might say, well, pray for her deliverance from that. And that's fine. But you cannot preach or teach and tell someone about what they're supposed to do with sinners is that you can't throw them away, which you shouldn't throw nobody away, but you have to rebuke, reprove, and so on. And you can't just drop things for the Lord and then go and get on the stage and start, dropping it like it's hot. Because you would tell people, well, you used to do that, you don't do it no more. But you're still doing it and you're telling people as if that is something that is supposed to be. And it is supposed to be. But if you know it's supposed to be, I would be like, well, you know what? I do that and I know it's wrong and I shouldn't do it, but I got a habit and I can't stop it. So pray for my deliverance. Don't try to act like it's okay. And that people feel that they can do that. And those teachings are very strongly in a lot of these denominations. That, you have some that believe different in a few churches or whatever. But the majority of them feel that, oh, you can, God, you started from church. That was your roots and then you went on. There's no such thing as that. Your roots would be for your education in school. Well, I started, that was my roots of education. Now I got this. Ain't no now I got nothing else because that nothing else that you got is of the enemy. It is a service to him. God has no place or no position in the world of entertainment. Not a drop. Can we have fun? Yeah. Can we laugh? Yes. Can we go see some theatrical shows? Yes. depending on what they are. But I see people in a church, they want to be like the world so bad. They want to be in that films. They want to be actors. They want, you're condoning it when you are playing certain things and you're doing. If you say, like me, I'll be like, say I do something like, well, you know what? This is what this is, and this is what this means, and this is why I'm doing what I'm blah, 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 blah. But I make it clear that you can't mix the two between, even if it's not that bad, say it's not that bad. If somebody see me do that, and then the next minute they see me preaching, they're going to say, oh, well, that's okay too. Well, one thing about me, when I drop it, when I'm serving the Lord, I'll be like, well, don't follow that. Well, that was all right.